about this week then that Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight this past weekend. If you're watching this now, the fight took place just a few days ago. And if you didn't know anything about it, it was a 58-year-old Mike Tyson taking on a 27, 28-year-old, whatever it was, Jake Paul. It was the fight heard around the world, so to speak. There's all kinds of hype going into it, and a lot of stuff happened during the fight. I'm going to give you my take, for lack of a better term, on it, but I want to read you something first because I thought this was very good the way it was written. I did not write this. This is from a Facebook page called Project Nightfall. This is from Project Nightfall. I don't know beyond that who the author of this is, but I'm just going to read it. Okay. There is okay, let me back up a second here. It says, I'm just going to read this verbatim. Jake Paul just won against Mike Tyson. And if you've seen the fight, there are some key takeaways that we all can learn from. Number one, there's no winning against aging. If you're young, in your 20s, teens, 30s, respect the gift you're given and take care of your body. It's a great privilege to be young and in top shape. Use this as a reminder. And the person who wrote this says, I'm in my 30s and I got super inspired to use the beautiful time in my life where I can still be in super good shape. Number two, Jake Paul held himself back. Yes, he held himself back. And as much as it was bad for the fight, I respect that he didn't want to humiliate old Mike. The moment he realized Mike was not in shape to fight, he stepped back and didn't take the opportunity to knock him down. Say what you want, that speaks quite highly of his character. I'll talk about that one here in a second. Number three, the event's energy went down the moment everyone realized Mike was in danger. It's ironic, but truthful. Mike was the underdog in this fight. And despite the low performance, I want to remind everyone that the fight is about much more than just the appearance in the ring. Mike Tyson, in his late 50s, managed to go through a super hard training camp to arrive there and stand for 8 rounds. I think that's something to respect. And they go on and on and on. Number four, it says, I gotta love seeing women get recognition for their hard work in the boxing world. Although I didn't agree with Amanda losing, I just love that these alternate boxing matches, mixed genders, and being awareness that bring awareness to women working hard on the spot. Okay. Again, this was a post by Project Nightfall, the Facebook page. So, hat tip to you, Project Nightfall. My take on this whole thing. Yes, there's no winning against age. When you're young, utilize it, man. Embrace it, utilize it. Be in a tip top shape you can, especially in your 20s and 30s. Once you get older, that you can't be in a tip top shape you once were. Can you be in shape? Absolutely. Can you be in great shape? Depends what your term of great shape is. Okay? Keep that in mind. If you're young watching this, man, get in shape. Do what you can to get in the best shape of your life. That's all I can say. Because once you get older, like myself, like the people I talk about, like the people I train, the people I project my videos and podcasts to, we're a bit on the older side. I'm not saying that in shapeness has passed us, but we're on the downhill side of that being in shape. Okay. It's hard for us to get in that tip top shape. So keep that in mind. Number two, when he says Jake held himself back, I have to totally disagree with that. And here's why I disagree with that. And we've all seen it. We've all seen the training videos that Mike Tyson put out. Also, the training videos Jake Paul put out. Nothing, and this is not a disrespect on Jake Paul whatsoever. What we saw in the training videos was not the Mike Tyson we saw in the ring, not even remotely close. I'm not saying that he wasn't in fighting shape, because he was in fighting shape according to what we saw on the training videos. Also, I guess he had some sort of blood transfusion. I don't know all the details behind it, and I'm not making any excuses. I'm just saying that the Mike Tyson we saw in the training videos was not the Mike Tyson we saw in the ring. After the first round or two, and we all watched it, so to speak, after the first round or two, yeah, it went downhill from there. You can tell the energy was kind of sucked away from Tyson. I don't think it was because he was winded. And here's why. He trained for what, 7 months. Again, if there's this blood transfusion thing that happened recently, then this probably all goes out the window. I don't know about all that. And I'm not speaking of that. I'm just saying he trained for at least 7, 8, 9 months. He's not going to be winded after 4 minutes of boxing. He's just not. And he's not going to be. He will be out of breath, yeah, but it's not the out of breath where he's not going to be able to recover and catch his breath from it. He's just not. And I don't think that Jake Paul held himself back. I think, and again, I'm not a boxing guy, and to be honest with you, either one of those two guys can knock me out within 5 seconds. I know nothing about boxing. Couldn't tell you the first thing about it. They could they could be both blindfolded, and within 5 seconds they knock me out. Okay, keep that in mind. There was something else going on there behind the scenes, and I'm not going to say what it is because I really don't know. I just know that the Mike Tyson that we saw in the training videos was not the Mike Tyson we saw in the fighting ring, and I'll just leave it at that. And I don't think Jake Paul held himself back. I think Tyson actually held himself back when it comes down to it. But the whole different story. Um, I think the two ladies who fought were fantastic. Again, know nothing about boxing. Couldn't tell you the first thing about it, other than it's a great match to watch. And if there is a winner from this whole thing, it was the ladies. Absolutely, it was those ladies who fought. Fantastic. I'm glad they got a global audience. It was great, phenomenal. Netflix. I think Netflix did it on purpose or did this fight on purpose. And here's why I think they did it on purpose. And I'll explain to you why I'm saying that. They wanted to take this on so they can break their system, so to speak. Yeah, Netflix broke their system because they had so many watching the live event. And we all know all the buffering went on. We saw that. And I think I also heard stuff that Netflix went down the next day. They had to test their system to see where it was breakable. Why? Because they're going to be doing live NFL coming up. They are going to be doing live WWE coming up. I think I heard NASCAR in a couple of years is going to be coming on there as well. Don't quote me on that one, but that's what I heard. So we'll see if it does or not. If that's the case, it would be better for them to have their system break on that boxing match on a Friday night versus on an NFL game coming up. So they know what they needed to do. They know what they needed to fix, and they couldn't do that until the system was broken. System was broken. They know what to fix. Great, fantastic. Kudos to Netflix. My opinion. I understand what you did and why you had to do it and why it broke because it needed to, so you can know what to do to fix it. So hats off to you, Netflix. Good job with that one. There's a lot of people out there ramping and raving because of the buffering. Yeah, I did it as well. Then I realized, okay, that's why. I could be totally off. Don't know. It could be totally off, but that's what I think. Also, another thing, uh, um, I don't know why they waited so long between the boxing matches for the next one to start. Oh my God, why does it take so long? I could understand if there were commercials going on. I could understand that, but there weren't commercials going on. So why it took so long between everything to milk it, so to speak. There was nothing to milk. There was no commercials going on in there unless they did it solely to break the system, which again backs up my claim, if you will, that they needed a system to be broken. Okay, but overall, I thought the winners were, of course, the ladies. By far, the ladies were the winners. The first boxing match, and I couldn't even tell you the players in this, so forgive me for that. Don't know, but the other boxing matches were good. The ladies were fantastic. The ones before that was a good match as well. Everything was fine except that the feature match, which was a snoozer. We all know that. The buffering, we know that, and I think I explained why it was necessary for Netflix to do that. So anyway, more power to you. You got 20 grand, 20 million, I should say. Mike Tyson got 20 million for doing it. Great. Jake Paul, 40 million. Hey, if you can get people to pay you to do that, yeah, more power to you, man. I have nothing against Jake Paul doing that. My personal opinion of the guy is irrelevant. Kudos to you. Hat tip to you. Making $40 million on this, great. Good for you. Tyson, $20 million, great. Good for you. If it happens again, don't know if it's going to be like that because you turn so many people off with this fight, in my opinion. Okay. Wish it would have been different, but that's the way it goes. Hey, thanks for being here. My name is Andrew, Top Fitness Strategies. I'm the face who runs the place. Check out the links. Okay. So until next time, this is me. Ciao.